So today I want to look at solving equations, multi-step equations, except I want to address the fact that when you see fractions, I don't want you to panic or freak out. Understand the steps that you can do to make it simpler for yourself. So when you have an equation like this, I know a lot of students see this 2/5 and they automatically get anxiety because there's a fraction. So the first thing I want to teach you is how to get rid of that fraction so the anxiety level goes down automatically. If you have the denominator of 5, in order to get rid of that 5, you would have to multiply everything by 5. And that gets rid of this 5. That's why we chose 5. You have to use the denominator, and you have to do it to every term. And then you're left here with the 2x plus 5 times 2 is 10 equals 5 times 4 is 20. So now I'm just going to solve the two-step equation by subtracting 10 from both sides. You have 2x equals 10, and then divide by 2, and your answer would be 5. And remember, you can always plug that in and work it out and see if it works for you, plugging it back in. So here is another one. And we've thrown in some parentheses and a fraction. So again, don't panic. Let's do the distributive property first. So this is a -1/2 times b, which is just -1/2 b. And then what is half of 2? Half of 2 is 1, and since it's a negative with a positive, it's going to be a -1. Now bring down the rest. Here again, we have a fraction. What can we do to get rid of the fraction? Multiply everything in the problem by the denominator that's in the fraction, which is going to be a 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here. I'm going to multiply this by 2. I'm going to multiply this by 2 and this by 2. So again, all it does is get rid of that. So I have -1b minus 2 plus 6b equals a -2. All I did was multiply everything by the denominator. Now we have no fraction. Let's combine like terms. Here I have a -1b and a plus 6b. That's going to give me 5b minus 2 equals -2. Now let's just solve it. Plus 2 from both sides. That's gone. I have 5b equals 0. And now we're going to divide by 5. Give a little bit more room here. And anytime you have a fraction with a 0 on top, it just simplifies to straight 0. You could again plug in 0 back into the equation, check it to see if you were right. So the last one here, we have 3 fractions. So again, that might be triple the anxiety, but the good thing is they all have the same denominator. So we can get rid of all these fractions by multiplying by that denominator. So we're going to multiply this fraction by 2, this fraction by 2, and this fraction by 2. And all that does is get rid of all those denominators. So now what's left? There's a -1 on this side equals 3k plus 3. Again, multiplying everything by 2 just got rid of all those denominators. So now we just have a regular equation. Don't let this panic you that you have the k on this side. We can reverse it. 3k plus 3 equals a -1, if that helps. So now we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. And we have 3k equals, that's going to be -1 minus 3 is a -4. And then divide both sides by 3, and k equals -4/3. So again, don't panic whenever you see a fraction in an equation. All you have to do is multiply every term by the denominator, just like here, and simply just here, in order to solve it and get rid of those fractions.